Can a 4-cylinder really move 35-inch tall tires? We'll find out in today's video. I'll include a link to the Doug Smith in Spanish Forks website in the description down below. Also include a link to my carbine guide. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a turbo 2-liter 4-cylinder that goes through an 8-speed automatic. Fuel economy is 20 around town, 22 on the highway, with power outputs being 270 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque. I'm trying to hit 500,000 subscribers before the end of the year. I'd really appreciate it if you'd help out with that. Now, if you couldn't tell, this particular one is a Rubicon. You've got the red recovery points and just red accents, but this one actually has the plastic bumpers. But it does have the Xtreme Recon package with the 35-inch tall tires wrapped around 17-inch wheels. And that means it is slightly lifted compared to a regular Rubicon. It does still have the rock rail protection, and it is re-geared. And don't worry, you do get a full-size spare in the back. Now, I just want to quickly show you guys some features inside. This one has the baseline interior with the manually adjustable cloth seats. And being a Rubicon, it's got the diff locks front and rear, sway bar disconnect, and off-road plus. And it's got just a normal part-time 4-wheel drive system with 4-wheel drive low. Here's our window sticker. You can see the base MSRP is $51,455, but the Xtreme Recon package is about $4,500 for everything that it adds. And then that brings the total price in this particular one to $64,955. Let's see if this dinky little engine can move those big tires. Man, listen to that 4-cylinder rumble. Let's see how this goes. One thing this is not related to the engine, but one thing I'm interested to see long term is how this synthetic trim holds up. I think it's gonna hold up better than the leather. I have a Toyota Land Cruiser that has similar trim. It's the Soft Text. And it's held up really well. I've got almost, how many miles do I have on that thing now? Almost 30,000. So not a crazy amount of miles, but it's a 5-year-old vehicle now. And the steering wheel basically still looks brand new. Now I will say, I had a Wrangler 4xe as a demo car for a week, that the 33s, and something that is interesting is how different the Xtreme Recon drives from a regular Rubicon. The regular Rubicon is actually quite a bit more comfortable with the ride. This kind of has more of a side-to-side tippy feel. It's lifted, it makes sense. But yeah, this doesn't drive nearly as compliant as a 33 package Wrangler. Okay. Man, I feel like the engine is just not bad, but like it is, man, this thing wanders way worse than a regular Rubicon. Anyways, I feel like it's just going through all the gears as quick as it can to keep it in the torque band to be able to move the larger tires. Doesn't feel slow at all, actually. It feels pretty peppy. Pretty peppy with the power. Yeah, crazy how much more body roll you get in the Xtreme Recon compared to a regular Rubicon. Again, this is gonna happen when you lift a vehicle. Wow, that was bad. I don't know if you guys saw that on camera. I had to correct quite a bit. The whole back end shimmied over the train tracks. That was bad. Man, it is crazy how much worse the driving manners are with the Xtreme Recon. If I hadn't had, again, I lived with that Rubicon for a week, so that's super fresh in my mind. Man, that is crazy. It's not the worst that I've ever experienced, but yeah, definitely a huge difference. That is crazy. You know, it seems like the power is fine. Like, all things considered, this is doing well. It's moving Everything just fine. Man, they need to redo the suspension on this. There's a kit there's a shock kit you can get from AEV, so steering stabilizer, upgraded springs, upgraded shocks. That helps out so much. I think that Jeep needs to just pay AEV a bunch of money to have that on like all of the Xtreme Recons as standard. Because my goodness, this is bad. And I understand Jeep doesn't like to do too much branded shocks and this and that on the Wranglers because they're like, oh, people get the aftermarket stuff themselves, but it's like, kind of feels like an incomplete product to an extent. This is supposed to be an engine review and it ended up being a suspension review. Sorry. I just haven't, I haven't reviewed, I actually don't think maybe I have. I haven't reviewed a 2.0 turbo Xtreme Recon in quite some time. And so you have you've got a small engine, so the weight distribution is quite a bit different. Like a 392 feels quite a bit more planted, but a 392 has a much heavier engine. The power really isn't bad. Again, it's not gonna have a crazy amount of passing power, but really not that bad. The thing that's bad is the handling, man. Jeep people are gonna get so upset with me. This package is actually pretty cool. This one has the added top insulation, which is kind of cool. Yeah, again, the torque, it's got an aggressive enough axle ratio. If I remember, it's 4.56. It's got enough torque. It has enough torque. Oh man, does this wallow. Wow. Enlightening. I am now enlightened. So in summary, I think the power is great. I think the handling's not so great. I think that Jeep needs to go back to the drawing board with the Xtreme Recon. The regular Rubicon's great. Like, good job, Jeep, with the regular Rubicon. Handles well, super capable off-road, drives well. This Xtreme Recon package is rushed. So I think go back to drawing board with the spring rate, with the shocks. This thing needs to handle, it doesn't need to handle like a sports car, but it definitely needs to handle better than it does right now. This is not ideal. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think about a 4-cylinder moving 35s, but if you've got an aggressive enough axle ratio, anything is possible.